Okay, so today, as requested by a student, we're doing a short video on Monte-Carlo. Monte-Carlo is super useful, very simple to implement, very simple idea, very convenient, very powerful. It's great. It's a great tool to have in your toolset as any kind of programmer, really. So the basic idea behind Monte-Carlo is if you don't have data but you want to do statistics on data, just make up the data by simulating the event you're interested in 10,000 times and calculating the average of the results. So let's say that you want to know what the average expected result from rolling a six-sided die is. Assuming you've been to high school once, probably you know that the answer is going to be 3.5, or you can calculate it instantly in your head. But if we want to simulate it using Monte-Carlo, we can just pretend to roll a die 10,000 times using Excel's run-between function. And then once we're done, we can just display the average of the results. So to do statistics on data we don't have, we simulate a roll 10,000 times and we do statistics on the results. As you can see, we are approximating the average of a six-sided die roll pretty accurately. The more zeros you have here, the more iterations you perform, the more accurate the result is going to be, and of course the longer it's going to take to run. So, okay, that's a very simple program. It doesn't actually tell you any kind of interesting information. How do you go from this to something that's actually useful in any other context than a simple exercise? The first way would be, instead of storing the results as a sum in a single variable, you're going to store your results in an array. This is an array of integers with 10,000 spaces in it. So we can put 10,000 different values inside our array. And then we can write something like results I equals result of that roll. And then we can display the average by just using the worksheet function average function. One neat thing about arrays is that they're basically ranges as far as VBA is concerned, which means that Excel functions that work on ranges, which is most of them, work on arrays as well. So it's very convenient. You can do average, you can do standard deviation, you can do COUNTIF if you want on an array, for sure. So here you can see I am calculating the average of this data that's stored in my arrays. So it's the same thing as before, right? But we can do things a little bit better. And VB new line maybe, and stdev, we can display the standard deviation as well now. Wait, the order of my function is super messed up. Average equals worksheet function average of results and VB new line and stdev worksheet function average results. That makes almost sense. There we go. So this tells us the average of these dice rolls and the standard deviation between two die rolls on average, which is the results you would expect. And the good thing about Monte-Carlo is that it's very easy to scale up. So if I have a roll that is one between 1 and 6, then you can do random tests. If another random number is between 1 and 100 is equal to 1, then roll equals 0, results I equal roll. You can keep adding conditions to simulate more and more stuff, more and more possibilities, more and more various things that you want to implement into your thing, to simulate your finance problem or what have you. Here I'm rolling a die, but also there's a 1 in 100 chance that my roll is going to be 0 instead, because you lose the die or whatever. Which gives not very different results, but you can see that the average is always below 3.5. Same idea. So Monte Carlo, very useful, very easy to put in place. If you want to do finance stuff on it, that's super easy. You can also do, for each roll, you can stake another loop in there. So you could do something like, I have a stock and I'm going to keep it for like 5 days, and each day can go between a +2 and -1%. There can be some kind of catastrophe that happens and so forth. Very easy to set up. You can also set up parameters at the start. You can use input box. Iterations count equals input box. Then you can set up your parameters and use them inside the Monte Carlo, like so. That way you can have the user kind of choose the kind of stuff they want to simulate. So very easy to set up, very straightforward. Another thing you can do is use debug.print to add logs when something special happens in your Monte Carlo. Debug.print lost Then we can use the immediate window to display whenever something special happens. This is going to keep track of up to 200 debug.prints things, so it can help you keep track of what happened during iterations. If I do iterations count, I need to do redeem my array, redeem results 1 to iterations count. You can't declare an array with a variable size. You have to declare it as an array and then resize it to the size depending on your variable. 10,000, 20. And you can see that you logged a bunch of stuff. Debug print. It can be convenient depending on what you want to see. Anyway, that's it for now. Very simple to set up, very useful. I recommend it. If you have further questions, leave them as a comment. Probably I forgot some stuff that would be useful to you.